everyone, welcome back to another video of mine. This video is going to be my birth story, and I am very excited to share this. I've been waiting a whole month. He is finally a month, my baby boy. Yes, he is a boy. He turned a month yesterday, and today just felt like, literally this moment felt the perfect time to go ahead and film this in my backyard. So yeah, and I seriously love my backyard, and I just had to do it out here in the peace. I have my baby with me so that you guys have proof that yes, I gave birth. Yes, I had a baby. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just share my free birth story. I kind of made some notes so that I just kind of am organized at what I am sharing. But overall, I just want to share from my heart to yours, truly. Since I haven't posted in a while, I'm just so excited to continue to post on YouTube. I really do miss posting consistently like I used to, but oh my God, I have changed so much. I have changed so much that words can't honestly explain. The growth is just immense, and I'm truly grateful for this experience. And I'm already seeing a mosquito, so let's see how fast I can do this. Ew, I killed it. I'm sorry, I had to. Okay, so I have my cup of tea and I'm just truly ready. So let's start. So this birth was an unassisted birth. This is the birth that I've always wanted, deeply in my heart. And so he was born April 24th. Sorry, not April. He was born March 24th, 2024. The most that I wanted was a free birth experience deeply in my heart. And honestly, it's the fact that birth is, nature's, it's the natural body. It's a body process. It's a natural part of life. We all came through the womb, and not one single person, being, animal, whatever you want to call it, came out of the air. Okay, we all came through the womb, and in a sense, yes, you did come out of thin air, but you know what I mean. Saturday, 23rd of March, this is when I started Braxton Hicks contractions. So the 22nd, that night, I started showing bloody show, which is essentially is like a bloody mucus coming from the womb. So that's pretty much the first sign of you're about to be in labor, whether a couple of hours or in the next few days. So I got that first sign, and that's when I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And I truly wasn't in a rush. The baby comes when they come, And so prior to this free birth experience, I immersed myself in free birth, in the free birth community. And I read up on positive free birth experiences, and intentional free birth experiences, planned free birth experiences, whatever you want to call it. And every story I read confirmed to me, yes, this is the way. Because when I would imagine birthing in my home, in my room, undisturbed, in peace, in my own vibe, pretty much taking up space in this process. Birth is such a vulnerable time. Labor is a vulnerable time where you have to trust your body. And if there's an imposing energy on that trust of your body, and the trust of being a mother, those first initial moments, especially as a first-time mom, continuously confirmed to me that this is it feels so good. And to have had this experience, if it was any other way, it would be so disempowering from that first initial like yearning to have that, you know, free birth, to have this birth experience. So as any mother like would be, you know, anxious for their birth, any mother has fears. Every mother has fears, anxiousness of the birth. How is it gonna feel? How am I gonna be? You know, things like that. How is the baby gonna be? And that's all natural. The biggest lesson that I have learned was to surrender and trust in the creator of creation, okay, of God, and surrendering all my fears and worries and doubts and giving it all to God and the divine to work everything out, and for me to do my part, which is to surrender and to trust my body, to get out of the body's way, assisting in the body, and, you know, calming my mind through breaths. And it was just amazing the way how when we get out of our own way, you know, the light really shines through, the light of God shines through. And so this is not just a lesson through my birth, but like a lesson in all things in life, okay? This transcends life. Birth is the messenger, you know, of life. And so, you know, my baby came right when spring hit, so I was feeling all the feels of birth and the new year, and, you know, just renewal and joy and all that. So new beginnings. So the 23rd of March, I started Braxton Hicks contractions, but after the bloody show, I started feeling some sensations throughout the night as I fell asleep, but they weren't that strong. I just knew they were some like cramps, you know, but they were very far apart, like maybe 2-3 hours apart. So I knew it definitely wasn't time. But again, that was definitely okay. I'm feeling things right after the bloody show. Bam, and then the Saturday, 23rd of March, in the morning when I woke up, you know, waking up with contractions, feeling the sensations. Again, they're still far apart, so they're pretty much Braxton Hicks contractions, which are just minor cramps, pretty much. And so they were happening probably every hour when I woke up. As the hours went by, I started feeling them like maybe every like 30 minutes, okay? So, you know, I was feeling like this was the day. Like this was like, okay, he's coming, whether it's today, tomorrow, the day after. Like it was like around that I was pretty much in that zone of thinking, like he's coming like soon, like this weekend soon, you know? So, but again, they were still very far apart, but happening consistently, okay? So all day on Saturday, up until the sun was going down, okay? The contractions were coming like every 30 to 15 minutes apart, maybe even 10 minutes apart. It was, just know it was getting closer and closer. So I was like, you know, still in the zone of thinking like he's coming tomorrow, you know, he's coming the day after, you know. So I consistently had to stop and breathe every time they hit, because I just wanted to be prepared. That's when I thought to start getting things set up, even though I just didn't know, you know. So this was the night, okay? This was the night, and this was legit. So by this time when the sun went down, it was like maybe 9 p.m. So the closer my contractions were, I knew this was legit, pretty much. And the baby's coming tonight. So this was around 10 p.m. I knew this was, you know, the baby was coming tonight, because there's no way I'm gonna be having these quick contractions all throughout the night and all the way through the day after. No way. Because around 11 to midnight, that's when midnight hit, I was in active labor. Full force active labor, literally like 5 to 3 minutes apart. Okay, so by midnight, literally, I was literally like on all fours. We had this setup where we had this bin to kind of like hold my arms so that I can lean over my arms, and like at this point for like 3 hours straight maybe, I was like on my knees and then kind of like standing up in between, like whenever I had a break in between contractions. It was really intense. I breathed all the way through. Every time a contraction hit, or I felt a contraction coming back again, I would meeting the contraction with my breath. And let me tell you, that got me all the way through. And of course, my partner was assisting me. He was making like really strong batches of raspberry tea. He put like 5-10 bags in a pot, and served me some tea to sip in between contractions. And there was even times where I was like, I can't drink anything, but I did, and I'm grateful I did. I was drinking raspberry tea all throughout the day anyways, like during early labor and all that, and obviously a whole month before I became in labor. So regardless, the tea was helping. I know that all these little techniques, these little these little practices and techniques were definitely helping, but most importantly was the fact that I was surrendering thoughts that did not serve me, my well-being, my baby. Surrendering thoughts and calling in the presence of God, the Holy Spirit, to assist in my body, and literally setting aside my thinking brain, okay, and getting into a really deep like meditation, meeting the contraction with every breath so deeply. And pretty much like I felt when I was really in the midst of it, I was just so deep in to a point where it started to become like communication with the body on a very intuitive level. And even my partner, he was very intuitive. Like, I just know when birth happens, intuition kicks in, because this is a very primal like thing. And especially when you're meeting with the presence of God consciously, it becomes intuition, like full force. But regardless, everything is instinctual in nature. It's pretty much on my knees, and stretching my hips in between contractions, and then standing up, leaning on the wall, breathing so deep in between when every time a contraction came. I really had multiple different ways and positions that I leaned on. I had my partner do counter pressure on my back, because oh my God, when I tell you the last 2 hours of labor, my back was like super tense. My lower back, super tense. Like, I wanted to lay down so bad, but I couldn't, because when I would lay down, it would be more painful and more intense. So I had to literally be on all fours or standing up, leaning on the wall. And it got to a point where like his counter pressure was not working at all. Like, that when I would do my own counter pressure, that's when it was the most relieving, which is so funny. And yes, I'm just very grateful that my partner, like, he was all in, supportive, very supportive. And he has the same level of faith that I had during birth, and he was just amazing. And I'm so grateful, and I'm beyond grateful too that the birth was in the middle of the night, because at that point, when you're close to your due date, and yes, I did birth 40 weeks, 2 days after the actual due date, which is normal. It's not gonna be right on the damn date that the ultrasound says. It's when the baby's ready. So But yes, on the due date, I did get the first sign of labor. So all in all, it was still accurate, and it was perfect. You know, I wouldn't have asked for a better birth experience, and I'm so grateful I followed my heart. Okay, so yes, pretty much switching positions. I even had warm water in the tub just in case I needed another relief. The tub was so little, and yeah, so pretty much the tub was very little and it was very uncomfortable. But the water really did relieve me, and I wish that our tub was so like really big, because I would have been up in there like all the way, so up until birth. So but regardless, it's okay. you know we ended up moving an extra mattress that we had on the floor because my knees were actually killing me being on the floor. So yeah, I was on the mattress all the whole time, switching positions, all kinds of things, and breathing. So up until, let's see, 4 in the morning. I don't know the exact time. No, I think it was like about to be 4. I don't know. I wasn't keeping up the time at all. I wasn't even timing contractions at all. It was just all through feeling. So by around 3, 40, maybe 3:50, 4 o'clock in the morning, I reached down just to feel, like, because I've been at it for about since midnight, and I don't know what time it is at that point. I'm so deep in this, but it was getting to a point where I couldn't anymore. My back again, like, was so tense. It was intense. So yeah, every time the contractions were super strong around this time, and I couldn't anymore. So I had to like reach down in there and just to feel what is going on. So I felt inside, and I felt well, I didn't know if it was his head or not, but I felt something coming out. I felt it. I felt him coming out. I touched it, and I was like, oh my God. And I told him, I was like, I feel him. And, he's still deep in there, but it's there. And so I got so excited at that point. I was like, oh my God, he is coming out tonight. He's coming out right now. Okay, he's coming out. Thank God, I don't have to do this another freaking 20 hours. I don't even know. So yeah, at this point, my body starts naturally pushing, okay, what is called the, what's it called? Damn. The natural reflux that the vagina does naturally pushes the baby out. And at this point, I'm literally ecstatic. Like, even though like I'm still having to breathe in between these contractions, I'm like, he's coming. He is coming. So yes, I had him feel down there too, and he was so convinced that I was gonna be doing this like through the morning, through the next night. Like, no, when he felt that baby, he was like, oh, but like, how can I be doing contractions like this? Like, oh, no, this is the real deal, boo. But of course, he's not feeling what I'm feeling, but still, he felt down there, and I was like, the baby, he's coming out. So at this point, I'm in position. My body, every time a contraction comes and I'm breathing, the body's like this sensation of like like, ooh. And like I allowed it. Like, I didn't resist this pushing. So the more I pushed, like maybe 2 contractions in, my body kept refluxing this sensation of pushing, like you're getting a big dump out, and it's like you're pushing, like you feel that push, or like you're throwing up, like, so I'm trusting again, and I'm allowing this push to happen and breathing through this push so that I don't have to like resist, because naturally you can tense up real quick and completely delay the process. So yeah, at this point I'm pushing, and his head is completely out. Not even completely out, but his head is further out. Pushing again, and then, you know, my partner gets in position. He's behind me with the flashlight, and I'm like, do you see? He sees it, and he's telling me to relax. So I push again, and I'm crowning, and I'm like, that's when I start hollering. So I'm telling you, this experience is just like, every time I think back to it, I'm in awe. So that's when I start hollering, because it was burning. Okay, that ring, the ring of fire, that's what they call it. I just, you know, I'm guessing that's what it felt like. It was burning, and I was like, ooh, ooh, hollering, and I'm trying not to be super loud because we share a neighbor. Okay, we have like a duplex, so yeah, we have one neighbor that shares our building, and I'm trying not to holler like crazy. It's 4 in the morning, mind you. And so yeah, but I was hollering. I couldn't help it. Okay, I'm giving birth. What can I say? So so yeah, my partner starts to say, relax, relax. When he says these words, that's when I'm like, okay, back to focus mode. I start breathing again in preparation for the next contraction coming. Breathing. The next few contractions, it's almost like my body was giving me a break after the ring of fire. Another few contractions, the next contraction came, and then start pushing again. The body starts pushing again, and I'm listening to the body. Ooh, ooh, pushing. And his full hit, and then I feel something come out, and I'm like, is he out? Like, what do you see? It's his head. It's his head. And I'm like, oh my gosh, perfect, his head. And so pretty much I'm at this point like, okay, now I have to get the rest of his body out. And I knew the next few contractions he was just gonna come out, like, I just knew it. And yeah, it was burning. It was really burning at this point. And then so next few contractions, more pushing, and I'm like, like literally, like it was actually like intense pushing. And boom, he comes out. It's like a hot, just super hot and steamy. Like, that's all I can describe of how it felt. He just slipped right out, and I'm in like shock, and I turn around. My partner's holding him, and you know, it's almost as if time stopped. I just laid eyes on my baby. He was so little, and like he didn't even make a sound at all, like with his eyes closed, and I was just kind of like shocking. It's like time stopped, and like all of a sudden he starts breathing like and crying and all that. I instantly hold him, instantly put him on my chest, and said, our baby's here. Our baby is here. And I wish, you know, just sharing the moment is so like, it doesn't do its justice at all. And I'm sure you can imagine like just filming my birth story. But this is the only way I can really share a story, through word of mouth, you know. So it was the most beautiful experience ever, and I laid down there with my baby with the placenta still inside of me, and I was in awe. I was just like, we were shocked, he was shocked, we were both just like, we did it, we did this here at home. So about an hour and a half, that's pretty much when I started getting up, and I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and get this placenta out. And so I tried like actually push, like I thought, I didn't know I had to push it out, so I thought it was just gonna come out kind of like the baby did. I thought my body was gonna like do the pushing, but no, I actually consciously had to push. So I went in the shower, and I was like, I'm getting this out, okay? So got in the shower. That's when I raised one leg up and started pushing, and plop, it just came out. So I felt something like coming out, came out. So I was, at this point I was like relieved. I'm literally not pregnant anymore. Back to when I was birthing my baby, the positioning, I was pretty much in all fours, and then by the time I crowned, that's when I actually put my right leg up. and kind of had it like I was still like kind of squatting, but with my foot on the floor instead of my knee. That felt the most relief for me and like the most control that I had. So again, like it's all intuitive. And I just leaned on that position the whole time I was pushing him out. So yeah, after I took out the placenta, everything was just perfect after that, except my breast milk came in late. So at this time, we kind of wanted to wait on even giving out the news to any family members at all. We just wanted to rest and eat and just literally soak up the moment of being new parents. And it's getting a little dark already, but maybe that's a little better. So we wanted to soak up the moment of being new parents together. And, you know, we didn't tell anybody that I was in labor. I did not want to tell my family members at all. They knew that I wanted a free birth. They knew I wanted they knew I wanted a home birth. And I tried to, you know, prior to giving birth and prior to labor, of course, during my pregnancy, I was seeking out midwives. I was seeking out doulas. But deep down, it was like I couldn't really like fully like achieve that because deep down, I wanted to birth by myself. I wanted to be in my own space. I didn't want anyone around me except my partner, because I trust him, you know, and I understand he never gave birth. He's not a woman, but I trust him with my, you know, process. I trust him with like my vulnerability. So yeah, that was just the most comfortable for me, to give birth. And yeah, so yeah, pretty much the process after that, days after that, the postpartum dream wasn't really as a dream as my birth experience, but I can't fully say that though. I'm very grateful I get to stay home full time with my baby and to nurse him, and now my breast milk is full on now, and I'm able to pump too, for backup milk supply. And I really would love to like maybe vlog like my, you know, postpartum days and what am I doing and things like that, how I'm breast milking and stuff, and just the process in general, how it feels, everything, like the inspiration of being a mother, a new mother and a postpartum mother. So yeah, I am enjoying every moment of being a mother. This was my unassisted free birth experience, my birth story, and if I can do it, you can do it. I think it takes a lot of discipline and devotion in the way we perceive ourselves, nature, our life, and the power of God, okay? The power of God that lives within us, and the presence that we can call on. The presence of God is always here, and we can definitely give birth we can definitely give birth unassisted. It's just the fact, like animals do it, and we can do it, okay? We are animals essentially too, you know? So yeah, we just have to trust and surrender the rest. Now mosquitoes are hoarding. I'm gonna have to stop here, and trust me, you'll see me soon. You'll see me more, okay? I just had to find the right moment to film this. So everything else is pretty much being posted in the right moment, and in the right feelings that I am feeling in the moment, right? And so yeah, thank you for watching, and to all the mothers that want a free birth, you can do this, okay? And yeah, sending you all so much peace and love.